University of Liberia, with a BSc degree in secondary education. George Willie is also a 2006 graduate of the Louis Arthur Brown School of Law, University of Liberia, and later matriculated at the John B. Kroc School of Peace and Justice, University of San Diego, California, United States of America, where he graduated in 2011 with a Master of Arts, MA, degree in Peace and Justice, Studies, and International Human Rights. He has several certificates to his credit from both national and international trainings. As regards his working experience, George Willie served as a classroom teacher at the College of West Africa, CWA, for several years, and later served as Secretary General of the Liberia National Red Cross Society. He also served the YMCA of Liberia as Executive Director of the Monrovia YMCA. Upon his graduation from law school, he served as the stipendiary magistrate of the Broadville Magisterial Court and was later transferred to the Judicial Institute of the Judiciary, where he helped as one of the pioneers to establish that institute. George Willie is a former president of the National Association of Trial Judges of Liberia. Presently, he is the resident circuit judge of Criminal Court A. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor to present to you our keynote speaker, His Honor, George Roosevelt Willie, resident judge, First Judicial Circuit Court, Criminal Assizes A, Temple of Justice.
Good afternoon. Okay, my speech will be very short. Celebration of International Human Rights Day, Tuesday, December 10, 2024, delivered by me. Government officials here present, distinguished members of the diplomatic corps, the other nations' special representative for Liberia here present, chairman and members of the Independent National Human Rights Commission of Liberia, members of the Fourth Estate, fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from Her Honor, Talen G.O., Chief Justice of the Honorable Supreme Court of Liberia and the entire judiciary. I want to use this occasion to thank the Chief Justice for designating me to speak to you on her behalf on this celebration of International Human Rights Day. As a professional teacher, one important principle we learn and usually tell our students is, while sitting for an examination, the first thing to pass is to pass the questions before attempting to answer. In other words, you must read and understand each of the questions before writing. Against this backdrop, I dare to understand the topic given me, to deliberate upon before delving into it. Accordingly, we must first deal with the historicity of international human rights before exploring the specific topic titled Our Rights, Our Future, Right Now. International human rights, which is synonymous to Universal Declaration of Human Rights, was born out of the United Nations on December 10, 1948. And the purpose is to recognize human rights as a foundation for freedom, justice, and peace. In the first and second paragraphs of the preamble of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it is stated, and I quote, whereas recognition of inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family is the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world, and whereas disregard and contempt for human rights have resulted in barbarous acts which have outraged the conscience of mankind and the advent of a world in which human beings shall enjoy freedom of speech and belief and freedom from fear and want, has been proclaimed as the highest inspiration of the common people, unquote. My emphasis to add is that no government or institution should exhibit any act or conduct that will curtail these rights, and doing so will ultimately end up into chaos and devastation of lives and properties and failed states. Having stated this brief background, we shall now proceed to discuss the topic, our rights, our future. Right now implies that we all have rights and future that we are entitled to, and we are demanding those rights and for our future. Right now, from those who are responsible to provide them in order that our future is secured. The rights were promulgated by the United Nations through the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which were funded as a result of gross human rights violation that culminated into World War II, which brought about ferocious human sufferings and destructions of property. Later on in 1966, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights built on the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that everyone is entitled to, and specify those rights for each of the covenants. The International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights objective is to ensure the protection of civil and political rights, and these rights include freedom from discrimination, right to equality between men and women, right to life, freedom from torture, freedom from slavery, right to liberty and security of person, right to be treated with humanity in detention, freedom of movement, freedom of non-citizens from arbitrary expulsion, right to fair trial, right to recognition before the law, right to privacy, freedom of religion and belief, freedom of expression, right to peaceful assembly, freedom of association, right to marry and form a family, right of children to birth, registration, and nationality, right to participate in public affairs, right to equality before the law, and minority rights. With the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights goal is to defend the economic, social, and cultural rights that everyone is also entitled to, and these rights include, some of these rights overlap with that of the civil and political rights. I will start with right to work, right to work, freedom to choose and accept work, right to just and favorable conditions at work, right to form trade unions, right to strike, right to social security, right of mothers to special protection before and after birth, freedom of children from social and economic exploitation, right to adequate standard of living, freedom from hunger, right to education, freedom of parents to choose schooling for their children, right to take part in cultural life, right to enjoy benefits of science, right of authors to moral and material interests from works, and finally freedom to undertake scientific research and creative activity. It is therefore incumbent upon every member of the United Nations to ensure that these rights are enjoyed by their citizens and those residing within their borders as we speak, because an unlawful deprivation of any of the law is considered a violation and shall have national or international consequences or both. Lest we forget, so human rights violations have legal implications despite of jurisdiction. And this is the reason why the international community has imposed sanctions on some countries and as well issued arrest warrants on some world leaders. For us in Liberia, we are demanding our rights now to put an end to impunity because, according to a 2006 report conducted by the International Crisis Group, the ICG, as to the cause of the Liberian civil crisis, it stated that the justice system was one of the root causes of the war. The report stated that most of the rights as enshrined in the RCCPR and the RCESCR were not being adhered to by the government, particularly the justice system, as justice was sold to the highest bidder, and the judiciary was not independent but subservient to both the legislature and the executive. Accountability as a basic tenet of the rule of law and a foundation of democracy was lacking. Therefore, Liberia was classified as a failed state with an arid future. These violations were not scandalous to Liberia alone, as there were many countries engaged in civil crisis. In view of the violation of these basic rights, in view of the violation of these basic rights today, as we speak, these rights are continuously being violated, thereby creating scandalous future, not only for their countries and region, but for the international community. It is therefore time that we demand our rights for our future right now. The question is, how can we do this? We can do this by one, being aware that we ourselves have a responsibility towards the rights and jealously protect them. Two, we can do this by protecting the rights of others. We can do this by naming and shaming those who violate the rights. Four, we can do this by holding violators of the rights accountable. Five, we can do this by scrutinizing and ensuring that people who come to public offices are aware of these rights and commit themselves to protecting these rights. We can do this by teaching these rights in both public and private institutions. Seven, we can do this by ensuring that religious leaders are aware of these rights and ready to practice them in their churches, mosques, and sanctuaries. And eight, we can do this by ensuring that traditional leaders are aware of these rights and commit themselves to practicing them. It is my view, therefore, that our rights now and our future now will be protected if we all adhere to these rights as herein above, and the recommendation as herein made. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you so much, Your Honor, for delivering the keynote address for 2024 Human Rights Day. At this point, we'd like to call on the Vice Chairperson of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights, Councillor Charles Harris, to give us the vote of thanks.
Vote of thanks will be done by one of the officials from the Independent National Commission on Human Rights.
Councillor George Willie, Councillor who worked the I-10 on the existing protocol. I'm honored to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the Commission. And I want to express our gratitude to the Speaker for sharing with us their insight and expertise today. The speeches were thought-provoking, they were enlightening. I would also like to thank the organizers of the event for the hard work and dedication for putting together such a seamless and successful event. our attention is drawn to the fact that, yes, we agree that they were committed to excellence in terms of whatever they did here, and that they were detailed in following specific issues. To HHR, we say thank you for your generous support. Your contribution made this event possible. We are grateful for your partnership. To all the attendees, the students particularly, thank you for taking part in this program, for your busy schedule to be here with us. Your participation and engagement made this day a truly memorable one. Once again, we thank all the attendees, all the participants for showing up and for making the occasions a wonderful one. Have a great day.
Thank you, VC Harris. Next is pictorial. I want to take a photo of this event. While we are doing that, I would like to call on the cultural troupe to introduce us, to entertain us. And then afterwards, we'll go to item 7. The dignitaries will be served from this table, and the rest of us will be served from the other table. So we'd like to call on the commissioners and other dignitaries in the audience to please join the high table as we take photos. The portrait team, all those of you, the winners of the portrait team. So the first photo taken by